Does anybody want to light or no?
It's up to you. I'm okay. My camera sucks up light.
You can come up with
No, out there.
It's like, am I that like forgetful?
That's the secret entrance to leave.
The Bat King entrance.
Okay, Stephen John. I am at AC apartment press conference. Yeah. No. We're leaving a package. Hold on. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. You got me? Hello, hello. Okay, great.
Hello, this is Fox and Reese. I just wanted to confirm, did you see my shot up here? The press conference. All right. All right, thank you. All right. Just do me a favor and look to see, make sure it comes up like anything else.
Comes up.
The audio. Mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Thank you. It's really weird, but I look at it, it's like, it doesn't really register. I'm just like, it needs to, it should work.
So that they will see it back there.
Yeah. I called him, he said he's rolling away.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't talk to the desk. I talked to TLC.
They're not ready yet, folks. I don't know, not quite sure what they got going on. Steel flag.
Oh, that's why.
Are you trying?
You don't go there.
email one of the producers.
What you guys left, it was like,
Did you know what was going on?
but then like,
I didn't know what was going on. All we knew was that it was a fire.
yeah, as soon as I saw like, cut in or Charles video, I'm sure it's gonna be
I
something.
guess you wanna, yeah.
Why didn't we get sick?
Isn't that
Hour
always the
later.
worst feeling?
An hour later, like,
Yeah.
So we're gonna be here in a couple of minutes to get started, okay?
Thank you.
Right here.
could I was,
I'm gonna throw this in.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Give it a second.
I'm sorry.
So we're gonna go, shoulder to shoulder.
Here's a stack of my cards. Use the 457 number. You can text is usually the easiest way to do it. Obviously, email as well. Chelsea should have everybody's information, right?
Tight.
Okay.
Pretty tight in there?
Good morning. My name is Sean Reagan. I'm the Public Safety Director for the City of Atlantic City. This morning I'd like to talk to you about a call that we had at Brighton Towers. At 4:51 a.m., there was a call for 2834 Atlantic Avenue, commonly known as Brighton Towers. At that time, there was a fire reported. I'll turn it over to Chief Scott Evans to give us the details of the fire, and then we'll give you additional details from there.
All right, good morning, everyone. This morning's fire was located on 2817, the address. Yeah, 2834 Atlantic Avenue, Brighton Towers. This is a 13-story high-rise. It's a Class 2 building. It's a non-sprinkler building. As far as fighting, from a firefighting perspective, this is a very dangerous, hazardous building with fire located on the 8th, 9th, and 10th floors of the corner of the building. There are no sprinklers here. This was a fire that was manpower intensive. The fire went to a 4th alarm. For Atlantic City, we had a full recall. We also had mutual aid companies respond to the city to cover the fire stations as well. I'm going to hand it to Chief DiLorenzo on some of the initial actions when he arrived. Chief?
So on arrival, we had heavy fire in the middle of the building on the 8th floor, as the chief said, exposing up to the 9th floor. A second alarm was transmitted immediately. Companies were responded up to the 8th floor, began fighting the fire. Chief Hess was put in operations, and shortly thereafter, the fire was knocked down with companies Ladder 2, Engine 2, and Engine 3.
Chief has come up and explain some of the operations going on upstairs.
How you doing? My name's Acting Chief Hess. Here on arrival, as Chief said, we have heavy fire showing from Division 8 auto explosion back in Division 9. We went into a swift, aggressive offensive attack to locate and fire and extinguish the fire and rescue and remove multiple victims from the area. This is all accomplished by the aggressive, fast, well-trained men and women of Platoon 2. I appreciate their hard work and the sacrifice they give every day. I'm glad everything turned out safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the thing that I want to highlight here is that Atlantic City has a kind of buildings and an age of buildings and a population density that isn't common in other buildings or in other cities in our area. And the speed with which the Atlantic City Fire Department put this fire out, there is absolutely no doubt saved lives. And I think the fact that we were able to get out of this without any fatalities is a credit not just to their service themselves, but also the equipment and the tactics that they use. So we'll talk a little bit more about injuries with Assistant Chief Kyle Wells from Atlantic Care, our partners for EMS.
Morning, Assistant Chief Kyle Wells, Atlantic Care EMS. So we were asked to come out and assist ACFD, which we're happy to do. We set up a rehab and treatment area near the fire scene to take care of firefighters and any of the people living in the apartments that might have been injured. We assessed 5 people, nobody got transported, and no firefighters were injured that I know of. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. So obviously with a situation of this size, and I'm sure all of you were able to see Atlantic Avenue, there's a lot of coordination that needs to take place and a lot of perimeter control and security so that we make sure that these folks are safe both inside and outside of that building. Chief James Sarkos, the Atlantic City Police Department, will talk a little bit more about that.
Thank you, Director. Good morning, everyone. When this call came in, we received the call in our communications center from the fire alarm company, but simultaneously one of our detectives actually saw the flames and put it out on the radio, which prompted a quick response by the police department. Officers, when they arrived on scene, they saw a lot of the residents were self-evacuating. Officers immediately ran in and also assisted with those evacuation. There was heavy smoke at the time. They also did breach a few doors to assist with evacuating those in need out of the residence. We also did deploy one of our drones to assist with situational awareness, and our surveillance center located here at the Clayton Grant Public Safety Building was also in full force and effect, providing situational awareness to the officers and the firefighters on scene. And we also did open up the courtroom here for evacuees, and the evacuees were brought over here to the courtroom in this building, so they had a warm place to be sheltered while we were waiting for the Red Cross. And the officers, of course, also did maintain the scene with traffic control. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Immediately following this briefing, Chelsea will email each of you to give us our contact information, some of the stuff from our surveillance center. I don't know whether we'll have the drone photos available or not, but if we do, we'll certainly send them along. Following the evacuation of those folks, there was a hasty evacuation of those people off of the street into the city building here into our courtroom. At about 7:15 this morning, there was approximately 50 people inside the building. There were probably another 20 outside Brighton Towers. Since then, and as you folks were walking in, they were walking out. We activated the city buses, the Great Day bus, and some additional public works assets to transport those folks from here to Soldiers Home, where they'll be serviced by Health and Human Services under Director Jared Barnes's supervision on that side, as well as the Red Cross, who will assist people at that location. So in the event that there are folks that need to be reunited or you're looking for your loved ones, our city building at Soldiers Home is where those people will be until we can get them safely placed somewhere else. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to our mayor, Marty Small Sr.
I don't think I need this.
I don't think you do. I need it.
That was a little step piece. But good morning, everyone. I would like to thank the firemen and women in blue of the Atlantic City Fire Department for their swift response. I would like to thank the police department for the job that they've done. Things like this take coordination. Like we said, we had neighbor municipalities under our mutual aid agreement to come assist us during this difficult time. And that's what it's all about. It's about the partnerships. The Red Cross, Atlantic Care, and other agencies that helped us get through this event as safe as possible, and that's the key. I also would like to thank our Public Works Department, our Department of Health and Human Services, who are making sure that the residents have somewhere to go. As we said, the courthouse, the Soldiers Home, and we won't hesitate to open up any other building. As far as transportation, they will be transported on the Great Day bus. So this is a great partnership, and again, everyone in a bad situation, everyone has left safe, and we wish the families and the people that's living in Brighton Tower, best of luck, and the city is here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. What are your questions?
Chief Evans, what goes into responding to a building where you know there are no sprinklers, and how does that change the effort firefighters have to make when entering the building knowing that? And what kind of operations do you have to do in terms of not having those sprinklers to help you?
So this is, we've been very familiar with this building. I hate to say we go to this building more than we probably should for different calls, whether it's a trash chute fire, or whether it's cooking on the stove. Our firefighters are very familiar with this building. This building has been flagged as one of our target hazards, which all of our personnel chief commanding officers are aware that this building does not have sprinklers. So when we do get a call that is a confirmed fire in here, the chief quickly escalates the alarm to bring additional personnel. Without the sprinklers, it's more manpower, more equipment intensive. We can't be champions enough about sprinklers and how they save lives. This particular building, through the entire fire department, was recalled immediately once a fire was confirmed in the building, which took all hands. And we have to supply water to the building, get water into the building systems, and then we have to bring all the equipment and manpower up to not only where the fire floor is, the floor below, and the multiple floors above the fire, because fire is going to extend vertically and horizontally. We had heavy smoke conditions on 10, 11, 12, where we have a lot of this particular building has a lot of senior citizens in it, non-ambulatory people. Most of them were able to self-evacuate, and as Chief Hess spoke earlier, they had to assist evacuation and rescued a few individuals who were non-ambulatory.
Sorry to say this, but if it's not if it is defined as hazardous or what you mentioned, should people be living in there?
Yeah, absolutely. As per the codes and per the standards, it's absolutely permissible. We do advocate buildings do retrofit their buildings. This building's been grandfathered in from probably back in the 50s. Although they have put very limited sprinklers in what we call the first floor common areas. No, it's perfectly legal and buildings in compliance with the current building codes as they stand.
Chief, residents were saying that they did not hear any fire alarms go off.
So I would defer to Chief on arrival.
Yeah, on arrival, the internal system was alarming the residents, yes.
Okay, many of them said that they did not hear them, and they usually hear fire alarms go off.
Yeah.
Any other time for false alarms? So
Yeah.
can you confirm that the alarms did work this morning?
Yeah, the alarms did work, and in fact, they're on arrival, and the firehouse is only 2 blocks away, so we were there fairly early. There was a tremendous amount of people already self-evacuating in the lobby. So, at least in my experience, there was more people downstairs at this fire than a lot of fires I've been to. So it could be that maybe on some of the floors, but at least in the lobby area, and like I said, the large amount of people were downstairs already.
We did. So if I could also confirm, that we did get a call through our police communications or our emergency communications from the fire alarm company. So obviously the fire is going to continue to be under investigation for some time, so I can't speak to every single resident, but we can confirm that there was a fire alarm, there were people alerted, and that fire alarm company did contact us. And the other thing that I would say is it's important to note that the fire department considers things hazards because we pay the fire chief to worry, and he's good at it. But also they're really good at fighting fires, and I think that you can tell because in that sort of environment that the chief described, we're not talking about fatalities, we're talking about injuries, and we're not talking about a lot of people who are admitted to the hospital.
How many residents in total live in the building?
So, I'll add to what the director said and to your question as well. There's approximately 168 units in there. So, any given time, it's 350 to 400 people will be in there. As the director just mentioned, a lot of people in those upper floors, anywhere from 7 to 13, were in harm's way, were in danger. So the effort that the men and women of the ACFD did to get everybody to those stairwells and to get them out was Herculean to say the least.
And the units that were damaged, were they just on the 8th through the 10th floor?
The main units that were damaged from fire were on 8, 9, and 10. You have some smoke damage, a little bit on 12. You have smoke damage on the other units, within 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We also have water damage down from 7, 6, 5, and 4.
Okay, any idea as to when the residents will be able to move back in?
Yeah, we're going to start moving some of the residents back in probably within the next 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, once we get a lot of the fire operations cleared out of there. But there's going to be probably well over a dozen rooms that will not be occupied. They're going to have to need either cleaned up. There's a lot of damage in the hallways, a lot of damage on the walls and the ceilings, in some of the common areas. So there's a lot of work to be done before everybody can get back in.
How does it work as far as getting hoses up there? Is it all outside, or is there something inside on each floor that the firemen?
So no, it's a great question. We have to bring the majority of our equipment up with us. We have to there is a standpipe that runs up the center of the building, which is the main feeder for the water, and then we have to bring all the hoses that we stretch up and down the stairways, through the hallways and into the rooms.
So it has to work in coordination really quickly then.
It's a lot of work, a lot of labor, and a lot of coordination, a lot of communication. When you have fire on 3 floors with that many people in this building, no, it's a pretty hectic, conditions to work under, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, to get out of here with possibly only one minor injury, I just can't say enough about the Atlantic City Fire Department and the city coordination with all the departments as well.
You mentioned that you've responded to this building multiple times before. Just on the scale, where does this fire fall in terms of damage and just the response that you've had to?
This is probably at the top. This is definitely on the top of the list. We get a lot of broken water pipes in this building, frozen water pipes, pots on the stoves. We got trash chute fires. You can get a mattress fire. Like I say, a kitchen fire in this building is not uncommon. So our firefighters are familiar with the building, which is fortunate, especially in this case scenario. But this is probably the worst firefighter in this building that I've experienced in my career over the last 40 years.
And just to confirm again, no one was injured, No transports?
We have one police officer was being treated for smoke inhalation.
Okay.
I know that the fire is still under investigation, but were you able to locate exactly where the fire started?
So, no, just preliminary, it appears that it did start on the 8th floor in a bedroom.
The flames are really like shooting out of there. Do you know in that bedroom what might have been fueling it or what the fire caught on to?
At this time, no.
Was there somebody occupying that space?
There was an occupied apartment, correct, but they were not home at the time. Or they weren't home when firefighters arrived, let me make that clear.
Yeah, I think it's important to just note the preliminary nature of our investigation at this time. We wanted to get you folks up here and give you the information that we have. But, you know, obviously there's a lot of investigation still to go. We have 60, 70 people that we're trying to, you know, interview and deal with at this time. So there's a lot yet to know, and we'll get you that information as soon as we have it.
Any message to the public, and where was the reunification center again?
The reunification center is at Soldiers Home. What's the address? Do you know the address, Mayor?
1510 Adriatic.
1510 Adriatic Avenue. And those folks are being cared for by our Health and Human Services as well as Red Cross is on their way there now. They're probably there already. And so we'll be moving them back as the chief clears those areas. We'll be moving them back to the building. And in the event that they need long-term care, we'll coordinate that through Red Cross and our Health and Human Services folks.
Chief Evans, one more. You mentioned that firefighters were able to rescue a few people from those upper levels of the building, and that some of them were disabled. What did firefighters see, and what kind of efforts did they have to make to get the residents to the bottom safely?
I'll defer to Chief Hess to respond to you.
Yeah, there was, a building like this has multiple ambulatory people who sometimes can't even come to their own door if you knock under normal conditions. There was multiple people, so we have to force entry to these doors, right? So a lot of forcible entry was done on Division 8, Division 9. So when we go in, they're sitting in smoke-filled rooms. There was balconies on what we would call the Bravo, Charlie, Delta side. We were able, in the meantime, take some of these people and protect them in place on the balconies. We would take them outside in the fresh air because the smoke's banked down to here in the room. We took them out on the balconies. We covered them in blankets. We kept the firefighter with them. We said we're going back because we have to be able to get them down an evacuation stairwell. So there's a fire attack stairwell, there's an evacuation stairwell, because you can't have all the occupants coming down where the hoses are going. So we were able to get a few of them people and bring them down to the floor below, get them on the elevator, and our elevator control could take them to a waiting ambulance downstairs. So a lot of stuff like that is going on during the rescue and removal, along with a lot of self-evacuation where people are just coming out of their buildings confused and 9, 10, the smoke was so a couple inhales of that smoke could just drop them right there. So it takes a bit of coordination. It's organized chaos, and it's what we prepare for and we train for. So like I said, that's our main priority is locating, finding, extinguishing the fire, and rescuing and removing all occupants out of the building. We start with the fire floor, the floor above, then we go to the top floor due to the way the smoke will travel in this type of building.
Could you say your name and spell it for us?
My name's Acting Chief Paul Hess, Paulhess.
Thank you.
One update I just want to give you in reference to our officer who did get some smoke inhalation. He was treated at the local hospital and since has been released and is doing well.
The 5 people who were treated included the officer and
Sorry, no, that wasn't, they were the residents that had come out and wanted evaluation. None of them were transported.
okay.
Chief, can you talk about how many responded, including the other municipalities?
Yeah, we had 43 firefighters on the scene, probably within 10 minutes. Initially, you had 30 firefighters on the scene, probably within 4 to 5 minutes, which response times, firehouse is obviously located 2 blocks away. We had a recall shift, which right now I think we probably brought in another 30 firefighters. We've had the mutual aid company immediately came into town to occupy our firehouses to respond to any additional alarms that might come in. Right now, I think our numbers operating on the fire ground, including all our recall people, we're probably looking at close to 80 to 90 emergency personnel on the scene right now.
Do you all know who owns the building?
No, I do not have the owner right now.
Okay.
Building management is on scene and working with us, though.
All right. Mayor, is there anything you want to say before we close this out? No. All right, thank you, everybody. We'll be in touch as far as the next briefing to give you a little further update in a couple hours. Thank you.
Are all y'all cameras off? This is separate and apart. It's possible that later today that our PIOs will send some information. We may do a media briefing on the ICE situation in town. So while y'all here, we'll let y'all know. We got to talk about it in